Go.
Cheers and hello to everyone. It's another round of Texas on Tap. We're going to look at some new streaming songs, new radio releases, and gosh, we have some great stuff. Producer Kyle, hello to you.
Hey, how's it going?
Going good.
Good, good, good. Anything exciting happening in your world?
Everything exciting. Everything so exciting. I can't even keep up with all the excitement. It's so exciting.
Oh man. Well, it's been quite the opposite for me, but I guess we'll jump into or we'll talk about that after we get through these tunes.
Okay.
You want to go first or you want me to go?
You go ahead.
Okay, I'll go ahead and kick it off with Mr. Braxton Keith, Lonely as the Lone Star, brand new out today to streaming. This is a good old simple classic country song with great melodies accompanied with some pretty tasteful arrangements, all kinds of cool musical stuff going on in there. I love the little whine in his voice. Did you notice that? It's got just
Mm-hmm.
like a little breaking up
Mm-hmm.
every now and then. It kind of just adds the emotion that the song needs to an otherwise kind of like
Mm-hmm.
happy song. It sounds like all the good classic stuff, but it's fairly happy tune. But he's singing about being lonely, so I thought that was really cool, really well done. And overall, Braxton's just doing some crazy stuff for country music for young people, for the youth, which I guess I'm still kind of a part of. I don't really know. Do you remember how old Braxton said he is?
I can't remember. I was thinking I know he's such an old soul and
Yeah.
I don't remember. But he's just doing so many great things and he's just out there and he's making it happen. And like this song reminded me of being at my grandparents' house like in the summertime and like you hear the summer sounds and the AM radio playing in the background and
Oh yeah.
cleaning and cooking dinner early, getting it ready early because it would get hot in the house because you're heating up the kitchen. I don't know, it just brought back so many like sentimental memories. Even though, like you said, it's a lonely song, it's just that
Mm.
old school kind of country that really kind of tugs at your heart.
Yeah, and it's just so cool because as we talked about with him on the podcast, his a lot of his audience is much younger, even younger than him, and it's like kind of the TikTok crowd, and the fact that he's putting out this kind of music and it's appealing to that audience
Hmm.
is kind of a sign of hope for everything that we're working towards. So really excited for him and real happy with what he's doing for music. And then moving on to Mr. Kolby Cooper, dropped a new one of streaming today. He's been on a hot streak. This dude's out of control. Um, I think his last three songs, for me at least, as they've come out, it's like, oh my god, how is he putting out a better song, better song,
I
better
know.
song? And he's done it yet again. He doesn't stop. This song to me is top tier in every category, in any way you could place it. The melodies almost could be placed in any genre or era of music. There's so much influence. It's like all perfectly kind of culminated into this one sound. One of the main things that stood out to me was in this production that, overall it sounds amazing. All the elements are exactly how they should be, but the way the guitars kind of shine through in the mix, it gives it this like almost futuristic kind of like if you hear this, Colby, or whoever's listening, please give me shit for this. But do you remember that movie Tron?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's like I
No.
don't even know when it came out, but it's like this goofy robot futuristic whatever movie. I think it was like race cars or something, but it made me think of that. Or like there's this other movie called Ready Player One, and I just love how a song can put you in this scene. And it just I was seeing all these neon lights and these roads and these like flying cars and stuff, and so I don't know. I just thought it was so cool. Like it's a very leveled lyrical song, but the way that it was produced and the way everything sounds in the song makes it sound like I'm 100 years in the future.
And I picked up on the lyrics. I mean, it's just like there's so many lyrics in there that go so deep, but those prayers you send through the ceiling really touched my heart. And it's like, being a boy mom and kind of relating to this song with some of the stuff with my son, there's always hope and it always turns out good. But I think it's so deep, but yet the song it just thrives as it goes. But my thought is there going to be like a continuation of this song? Like what happens to the son?
Mm, yeah.
I would like to ask Colby that. And he's such a daddy. He's got his 3 children of his own, and he stays so busy. They are such a
Oh
beautiful
yeah.
family.
They just posted the other day. I think their oldest just graduated kindergarten. Congrats to them.
Yes, yes. And of course, while I was listening to Colby, I had to go back and listen to his Little Texas cover of My Love. Like you
Mm,
said, another one, he's just on a roll and he's just so incredibly special. I love that guy.
special guy. Yeah. All right. What you got for us?
Okay, y'all bear with me because me and Kyle had quite a morning with our song swaps. It's pretty funny. Again, we were on the same track. And we'll get to that. So
Hmm.
hopefully Miss Helen can get through this because I have so much to say about these two songs. So we're keeping the tap room door open for the Chad Cooke band. This is their new song, and it's called "Smoke and Mirrors." This is currently out to radio, just fresh out to radio. It's already charting, getting the most ads, debuting very, very high. And it will be out to streaming coming up on June 7th. The lyrics in this just have such a twist and a turn that makes makes so much sense with smoke and mirrors. So the whole premise of, coming in the mirrors, the eyes reflection off the wall behind the bottles. And then she says, I only mess with these when I'm drinking, trade you a dance for a light, smoke and mirrors. And it goes on,
Hmm.
nothing, you can't trust what you see or find under the neon lights. Y'all just, you just heard it. But I love the lyrics and the twist on everything. And of course, I am I love Chad's voice. I always have, always will. And of course, they're some of my favorites personally. We love those guys to death. But this song is going to be a hit. And again, you can get it to streaming and have it on your own personal library on June 7th. So that's Chad Cooke Band. Awesome job, guys. And Smoke and Mirrors. Okay, so a new single is out. And Kyle, this had you written all over it when I started previewing it this morning. Jason Scott and the High Heat. The name of the song is Golden. And it's this is summer vibes all the way. If you've got your honey, and you want to take a drive going down the beach or going down the back roads or whatever, it's like this is a song to jam. I'm not one for those sappy love songs, but this one, it's just got a different kind of style. And basically it's golden. It starts out with talking about how some people say love is a gamble. It's like the sleight of heart, tip a hand, but we're golden, richest man in the world. We shine like glitter. I'm just kind of paraphrasing now, but y'all check it out. It's just the whole vibe of that song is awesome. And I'm excited because this will be their fifth single off of their third record, which is coming out July 19th, and it's entitled American Grin. So check out Jason Scott and the High Heat at your favorite Texas radio station and enjoy the jam and vibe with it. It's really good stuff. But Kyle, that song so made me think of you. And so I'm going to share the story what happened. I hadn't looked at Kyle's email yet for his picks because literally, let's see, what time is it now? I have spent 6 hours listening to music today,
Wow.
going through radio releases and then going down rabbit holes. But I hadn't looked at Kyle's email because we'll send each other what our picks are. And so I'm typing mine, I email him. I'm starting to preview and make notes and trying to refocus myself on the priority, which is what we're going to talk about here on the podcast on Texas on Tap. So I glance up to listen to Kyle's picks and we picked the same song. You had you had that one down
Yep.
too.
Yeah, I mean that whole everything about Jason Scott that he's doing right now is pretty fascinating to me. He put out that song a while back that we covered, and I've noticed every single they've released since then, he's kind of putting out as a new EP. He's like releasing them as singles. It's called the waterfall technique or method. It's for music nerds. Go check that out. It's really fascinating. But he released like the Golden EP, for example, to streaming last Friday. But all the previous ones that are going to be a part of this album coming up are also released with it. So that's cool. And one, his style is so awesome and upbeat and like powerful and kind of anthemic. It's very like, and forgive me if this isn't your influence, Jason, but very pop punk in that world that I come from. So yeah, I love all of it. That song was absolutely in there, but I was being nice to Helen and gave her that one back and called on my friend Braxton Keith to talk about his new single. So it all
Yeah,
worked
and
out.
so I'm gonna hold it right there, and I really would like to have Jason on the podcast. So while I was researching and going through the rest of the songs that I had previewed, I do want to bring up Calamity Jane's. They have a new single out to radio called Tangled Hearts, and I'm not going to go into all the details, but I want everyone to check that one out. It's
Mm.
really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, good song for sure. All right, let's talk about our friends at More Than Music Creations. If you are not familiar with More Than Music Creations at this point, what are you doing with your life? Head over to morethanmusiccreations.com. Check out what
What's
they're
the
all
matter
about.
with you?
Yeah, for real.
Sorry.
I mean, they're making some of the coolest jewelry I've ever seen in my life. It's every now and then, if you walk in the right gift shop, you might see like a guitar string bracelet or whatever, but it's made out of some cheap guitar strings that nobody's ever touched, and it's just meaningless. It's somebody who doesn't know anything about the music business. More Than Music Creations, Michaela and Michael are taking used guitar strings from your favorite artists that they're donating to them, making beautiful jewelry, selling it to people like us because we buy their jewelry all the time.
I do. Yes.
And a portion of the profit proceeds are going back to charities in the Austin area supporting. I mean, really, I guess the goal of the charities is to bring music to kids who are in need of it. So all for a good cause, all recycled materials. It's so cool, so awesome, great people, affordable, perfect gifts. I could go on and on forever, but I'm gonna stop here. So go check out More Than Music
Yeah.
Creations at morethanmusiccreations.com and get you some.
Yes. Come on, Texas country fam, get you some of that. Have you ever wondered how artists like Treaty Oak Revival, Red Clay Strays, and Aaron Watson maintain the high quality and high demand for their merchandise? CH Lone Star Promo is the answer. Created in Texas to serve Texas artists, and they're currently offering 15% off on all merch orders from musicians. Visit chlonestarpromo.com to get started and tell them Texas Toast sent you.
I was reading the other day that it takes at least $1 million to break an artist. That's a ton of change, and it can feel overwhelming. But with social media leveling the playing field, you just need an effective strategy to release your music. Check out Release Rocket to ensure your single does not die after release day. You've already put time, effort, and tons of money into writing and recording your album. Let the guys at Release Rocket keep your new release alive.
Okay, so just a look at what's popping and topping and popping and topping, whatever on the charts. Some good stuff going on with the Texas country music chart. Curtis Grimes, God's Doing, that we talked about, I guess, a couple of weeks ago. He debuted in the top 100 at 65. The Teague brothers have made big moves. Johnny Falstaff as well. And Bree was the greatest spin increase. And I have some good news about her coming up in just a few minutes. But
Mm,
number one on the Texas country music chart this week is Wyatt Flores and that awesome song, Milwaukee. Looking at the Texas Regional Radio Report, Bree Bagwell's Rescue, another number one for Bree. So big congratulations to our girl. And CD Extraction, Texas, Wyatt Flores is sitting at number one with Milwaukee on that chart. And as I said, I'm not kidding you. 6 hours of listening to music and making notes and then going back and forth and doing research, which I love doing that. I just absolutely love that. So there's a lot out there. There's a lot. Turn on your favorite Texas country radio station because I'm just gonna say something right here. It's like those guys and gals working in Texas country radio, their hearts and their souls are in it, and they are there working hard to get the word out like we do, but they have such a huge job with going through and programming and all the work that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see. It's kind of like, like you're a tour manager, like what
mm,
goes on behind the scenes and all the work that it takes to put it together. It's not just sitting in front of that microphone and talking. It is studying, it is doing research, it is making phone calls, emails, and they are so supportive of our indie artists and our Texas country artists. And there's good music out there. So find your local Texas country radio station and tune in.
yep, absolutely. Or even just put it on a playlist. Those things are curated by specialists, not like LA people who don't know anything, but by people who have been enlisted to create specialty playlists specific for people like us who love this genre. It's not quite the same as radio. The artists also don't make as much money, but still it supports.
No.
It's any music discovery these days is really the best way to support artists and find new artists. And yeah,
Well, and
it's
then and then I think the great thing too, coming from a radio background, doing the podcast is it's like I love like, the visits that we have and the stories. And it's like when you listen to our podcast and you listen to the interviews that we have and then you hear it on the radio, I feel like you have a little education, hopefully, and a little background on the artists that come on and be able to say, oh, I heard that person on Texas Toast. That's that song, and that's that person
mm,
that so and so, so and so, so and so. That's kind of my goal, our goal here. So
yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, and yeah, there's a whole lot to it. So love our Texas country radio folks.
Definitely, definitely. Well, speaking of Texas country music, if you have not yet, you got to go check out our interview from this week with Cody Hibbard. He kind of like laid it all out on the table, poured his heart out in a sense, talking about his new song "Rollin'," the new album that he's got on the way, and then kind of just where he's been in his life. He kind of tells the backstory of a lot of stuff that nobody really knew about him beforehand. So it's very exciting, very emotional.
Hmm.
I mean, the conversation itself even had some kind of ups and downs, a bit of a roller coaster. So go check that one out. And then we've got an awesome conversation coming up with Jared Morris, fascinating dude. I can't emphasize on that enough. He's got a very very unique outlook on the way everything works. So we've been on a kind of a hot streak of what's the word I'm looking for? Just different interviews. These guys have
Very
been kind
unique,
of
very unique.
yeah.
Yes,
Well, I was trying to avoid the word unique because we could
great
always say that
conversations. Hmm.
everybody's unique, but these guys have been kind of like I hate to say trendsetters, but because that's not what they're doing. They're kind of doing the opposite of that. They're just being themselves. So I don't know, just really cool stuff. So go check out the Cody interview if you haven't already, and then look out for Jared Morris this coming week. And yeah, I honestly haven't had much going on. I was in California all last week, just chilling. We went to Disney World, enjoyed a little bit
Cool.
of. It was weird, or I guess Disneyland. The weather was cold, which was nice, but didn't get as much sun or beach time as I would have hoped. But
Wow.
it was a good time.
I was down here with all our crazy Memorial Day people. It was a lot of fun, and I have to tell a story. So I had in my VRBO rental, I had three young couples come, and they all had babies, like almost fixing to turn 1 year old at one, and they were just they were so much fun. So we started visiting Saturday evening. I was having a conversation, and they finally said, "Okay, tell us about the Texas Toast podcast and all this." So I started talking, and then one of the girls goes, and I'm going to tell you, literally, like I bonded with all of these kids. They're just amazing, and they're actually this is going to be a yearly trip. I get to watch the kids grow up. They're coming back. But long story short, one of the girls busts out. She goes, "Jake Bush is married to my cousin." See, look at us, this small world. How we're
That's
all like,
hilarious.
circle back and come around, and everyone knows somebody. So that was really cool. And
Mm.
then a public service announcement. If you travel to like tourist destinations, how can I say this? We had some incidents here that was very disappointing with some rentals getting vandalized. And like
Oh.
I've talked to some different owners and different property managers like me. I don't have any problems like that. Thank God I haven't had any problems. But it's like, it's just treat it like it's your own home, because that is
Mm.
someone's home when you rent a VRBO or Airbnb, and pick your trash up.
Yeah.
It's so disappointing when all the tourists leave and we find all this trash everywhere. Like the beach is trash. On the side of the road where they fish and crab, that's got trash. People have to pick that
Yeah.
up.
That's
And the
that's a
great thing
tough
is
one,
that
right?
on our beach, they have these real bright, colorful, big trash cans now that sit up like they do on the beaches,
Mm.
and they're
Draws
bright
you in.
colors, and they're so cute. It says "toes in the sand, trash in the can."
Oh,
Go,
I love that.
Matagorda.
Yeah, marketing's so fun. It's like that draws in. Forgive me, but that draws in the idiots, like the people who don't put their shopping carts back and just leave them next to their car in the
I
parking
hate
lot.
that. I
They see a
cannot
big
do that.
shiny trash can. They're like, "Ooh, look!" That's hilarious.
Ooh,
That you got to do
yeah.
something like that to get people to throw away trash. Yeah, I
It's
don't know.
so
That's
funny you
interesting.
brought that up. The whole grocery cart, I have to take mine back. I cannot. I just it's
It
and
seems like
return
that's
the
gotten
pins.
better.
If you borrow a pen, return the pen. Of course, people don't write checks anymore. So really, you don't use. But back in the days when people wrote checks all the time, it
Yeah,
was like return the pen.
God, we could start a whole podcast on just like topics like that.
I
But
know,
yeah,
right?
I don't know. I think that's gotten better. It seems like it. You don't really see at least around where I'm at. You don't see stray shopping carts flying around the parking lots as much as I remember them being whenever I was a kid. But
It's
man,
funny.
people are just lazy.
It's funny. I'm the one that always gets the cart with the broken wheel, or the
Mm.
one that makes the noise
So you're just
every time.
lugging it around the grocery store with the squeaks.
Because it's like, well, too
Mm.
late now. Already,
Yeah,
there's other people getting their carts now. I don't want to take this back. I guess I'll make some noise going through the store.
somebody's got to do it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I want to one more reminder. I want to remind
Yeah.
everyone also that the Texas Country Music Association Awards nominations are open. I've been doing my homework on that. I've got to get on there and get my nominees plugged in. So this is the first round where you write in your nominations. You don't necessarily have to be a member, but us members of TCMA votes count double. Only one time you can vote, but it's going to be interesting to see the direction things go this year. It's hard. Kyle, it's hard
Hmm.
because there's so much talent.
A lot of new names.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, and a lot of growth from that used to be new names. They've grown. We have some new names coming up. We've had so much music put out last year and this year that oh, my head starts spinning.
Yeah. Yeah, same old though. It's pretty cool. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to put my votes in or at least go dig through. I haven't started doing that, but it's cool how that's just kind of become like a tradition. I mean, I guess it's been that for other people for longer, but since we started the podcast, because that was all new to me when we got started, but it's been cool being a part of that and seeing all the change and all the growth over the last couple of years. Okay. Well, any shows or anything on your radar this weekend?
Wade Bowen at Greek Brothers.
Okay.
Bow
There you go.
show.
Are you going?
Yeah. I'm gonna see how things are this weekend. If we both can't go, it may be sneaking away with the girls. Me.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
So
When is that? Is that Friday?
it's Saturday, the
Saturday night?
1st.
Cool.
Hmm.
Very cool. Great. I've got a
Like
sleepy
his song,
weekend.
like his song, Saturday Night.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
does everybody love
I've been
Saturday
jamming
night?
that album, the new one, so much. It's so good.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Oh man. Good music. And we're almost halfway through, or I guess we still got a month and then we'll be halfway through the year. It's funny, I'm sure people have noticed, but we kind of switched up Texas on Tap. We're doing less songs this year and I changed the graphic. So I've just been putting what week of the year it is, and I'm like starting to get real confused every week when I go to edit this podcast together because it'll be like week 27.
I
I
know.
used to,
I see that you've been putting the week, and I'm like, oh, I would so mess that up.
yeah, it's
No,
it's starting to get confusing, but I just I can go and reference last week, so I just make sure I get it right. But it's funny. I thought that would make it easier to follow, or kind of more exciting, because when you see the date, it's like, okay, that's the date. But if it's like, oh wow, this, it helps us just have a better visual of how far are into the year.
true.
So
So true.
yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna take it easy this weekend. I got nothing going on. I'm playing some shows next weekend, and then going on another trip actually. So my life is normal for just a few days.
Nice. Well,
Yep.
cool.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
hopefully you make it out to the show.
I hope so. I hope so.
Cool. Cheers.
Cheers.